me again. How do you do this? Wretched thing. Aha! There we are. I'm sorry I'm dressed like this, but I cannot stand it. The heat is killing us. I can't put a jacket on. I had my clerical collar on. I thought my head was going to pop off, so please forgive me. God bless you, one and all, and nice to see you in here today. There's something not right with that camera. It's just facing the wrong way, isn't it? I need to speak to Jade and try and get the zoom this thing in a bit or something. It's the settings on the right. It's a new camera, you see. It's a new computer. Anyway, here we are. The heat is horrific. Now, you might think, what are you doing drinking tea? That's the best thing you can drink in the heat is tea. Oh, man, it's horrible. Oh, it's crazy. We can't stand the heat. We don't have these heat waves, but we've got one now, and it's not doing me any good. I don't feel very well with the whole thing. But there we are. Welcome, one and all. And I haven't fixed my stuff either, so I can't see the comments. Dear me. Anthony H, how you doing? Troy, Florida, how you doing? Westover 1314, God bless you. Paul Telford's here. And Hugo De Castello, good afternoon. Yes. Well, there's a lot of stuff going on. A lot of stuff. I think we'll start with first, as we were the scripture. This is a powerful part. This is Psalm 38. So hear ye the Lord. O Lord, rebuke me not in thy wrath, neither chasten me in thy hot displeasure. For thine arrows stick fast in me. Thy hand presseth me sore. There is no soundness in my flesh because of thine anger, neither is there any rest in my bones because of my sin. For mine iniquities are gone over mine head as an heavy burden. They are too heavy for me. My wounds stink and are corrupt because of my foolishness. I am troubled. I am bowed down greatly. I go mourning all the day long. Amen. Amen on the Lord, lad. His blessing to this, the public reading of his infallible, inspired, and inerrant word. And the people of God said, Amen. You know, when you read this in the Psalms, and you think that should be a Christian's sort of attitude and before the presence of a holy God, you know, it's very different from what we see in modern day churches, you know. And people often laugh at the old Calvinists and they laugh at the Catholics because we're all very somber and serious in our churches and they're all kind of dark and gloomy. But they used to be anyway. And people laugh at that and they all want to get a banjo and a tambourine and jump about. But you read this is David coming before the Lord. It's a totally different attitude, isn't it? It's a completely different attitude. And I think we need a wee bit more of that gravitas. I think we need a wee bit more of it. Brian Sirks here. God bless you, brother. How nice to see you. Don't know if any moderators are in today. Don't see any. Anyway, so let's start first of all with some stuff. I don't know if I've got it today. So the Iran war is back on, allegedly. The Iran war is back on. They've started up again. They're all fighting, bombing, and gone mad again. So here's some footage for that. I just don't know. I'm hearing reports that there's 50,000 American troops en route. I really hope not, because that would be a big mistake. But anyway, here's some bombing, and I don't know where. I think this is Iran, this bit.
Whoa. Whoa.
So there you go. Wee short clips, and then I think this is a base. I don't know if this is a US base in Bahrain or Oman. Not sure. Have a look. So the war's back on, and I don't think for a minute, well, if anybody believed it was off, it was a nonsense. It was just a wee bit of breathing space for America to replenish itself. The Iranians weren't fooled. And I think those so-called attacks on ships the other day, I would take that with a pinch of salt. Maybe there was, but they were in the wrong place anyway. They're not meant to be going that way. But anyway, it was any precursor to resume the war that was always planned. And I don't think anybody was fooled. I certainly don't think the Iranians were fooled in the slightest. So they're back at it. They're all back at it again. But what we need to watch out for, because the problem is Israel's made it very clear that once this Iran thing's out of the way, Turkey's the real object. Now, that's a different ballgame. Turkey has got an army in numbers and size and weaponry that would be probably put them number 3 or 4 in the world. So if you were a Turkish person right now, would you say, do we wait till Iran's been finished off and then they're all free to attack us, or would you go now? This is the problem. And I know Donald Trump thinks he's got a good relationship with Erdogan. He's not been about Arabs long enough. They'll smile at you while they stab you in the belly, 100%. So if I was a Turk, I'd be looking at moving now. I know one of the top American guys was lobbying Kim Jong-un, saying, "Look, why don't you help us against Iran?" And they said, "If we enter a war, we'll attack Israel." So I don't know. It's quite a dangerous thing. It's quite a dangerous thing as well. All right, Brian, no problem. Don't worry about that. Yeah, it's a very dangerous time that we see developing here, and who knows what it'll lead to. Wait and I'll see if I can get a. Wait and I'll see if I can get a link. Wait and I'll see if I can get a link from somewhere. Wait a minute. I'll see. I'll need to get into maybe yesterday's show, or the other day's show. Give me a wee second. I'll see if I can get this. See if I'm technically astute enough to do it. Do you think so? I don't know. We'll see. We'll have a look. Okay. Yes, I think I'll put this up because Marion was on at me saying there's no not enough coming into the. Well, here we are. This is a link to the chapter house because sort of fundraising now is dried up. Nobody's giving, and remember we pay about just on George alone about $2,500 a month. So we really need your assistance. So here's the link. If anybody can throw in a few pounds, dollars, yen, whatever, it'd be much appreciated because we've really got to be bringing in a steady income every week to get this thing over the line. So if you don't mind, folks, please do so. So that's the problem with Iran. It's all going mad again. It's all went mental. And, I sort of get tired of it because everybody knew this was going to happen. There's no big surprise. But already the oil's went up. I mean, I'll give you an example. Sammy, much was oil? I told Sammy to buy heating oil last week.
£120 dearer this week.
That was for how many litres? 500. For 500 litres, it's 120. That's about $160.
No, that's how much it went up.
I know. So it's $160 more expensive. So how much are you paying now? What are they asking now?
$4.30.
$4.30. About $600 for 500 litres. That's 100 gallon. So 100 gallon of heating oil, to run your furnace, is $500-600. It's crazy. It really is. It's crazy. It's pound $1.50 per gallon, no per litre. I don't know. Anyway, it's really expensive, and just in the last few days, it's went up by about a third just because of this carry on starting again. And remember, we're already crucified with prices. Sam, we got our electric bill in there just for 2 months, $600. We don't have anything electric. We've got a gas cooker. We've got open fires. We don't have electric heating. We have nothing. Don't have a dishwasher. Don't have anything. And it's $600, $600 for 2 months. I mean, it's insane. Marion, Ken Wood's asking me, do we have a box? Ken sent a box to Utah. Where is it? You go on to, where do you go?
Oh, sure, I'll just do that now.
Go on to, send her a note and see where this box is.
Right.
Ken, I'm on it. We're on it. Okay. It's completely mad, isn't it? But this wretched war's going to do everything again, and we are really screwed to the floor with prices here. So this is going to kill us, and just everything goes up. How you doing, Roger? No, Brian, it's no America going after Turkey. It's Israel. Remember, America's not fighting Iran because America wants to fight Iran. America's fighting Iran because Israel has told them to fight Iran. Israel's running the American military. If you don't know that by now, you're misguided. The only reason America's bombing Iran is because Israel wants to do that. And Israel's next target is Turkey. And you might be dragged into that as well, but that's another kettle of fish, that. It's complete. I mean, it's nonsense. I mean, it's absolutely. The only threat Iran could possibly be to anybody is Israel. They're not a threat to America. It's kind of nonsense. I've spoken to a lot of Americans say, they're going to build a nuclear weapon. Well, let's say they could build a nuclear bomb. How would they get it to America? They're going to fire it in a rocket. They don't have anything like that. Very few countries have got rockets that can go across the entire Middle East and across the entire East Europe, Central Europe, Western Europe, the UK, Ireland, 2,500 miles of the Atlantic. It's not going to happen. So there was never any threat to America. The threat is to Israel, and that's what the war's all about. And I think we all know that. But I just don't want to see American boys losing their lives in a stupid war for Israel. Let Israel go and fight. If they want to fight, let Israel go and do it. Anyway, we've got some controversy here. Yes, big controversy here. Because the boys down in Mosque, which is a place, do you remember last year? Do you remember last year they put a boat on top of the bonfire? They put a migrant boat on top. No, we had problems with all these migrant boats coming. They put a migrant boat with effigies of the migrants all sitting with their life belts on in the boat on top of the fire. Well, they've really excelled themselves this year. John, Turkey is a NATO country. Israel is not. What difference would that make? Make no difference at all. That'll make no difference at all. Israel does what Israel does, and they don't care. How committed we are to Article 5? Well, I would suggest we're not committed to. If you're talking about Britain, what can we do? If Russia or anybody attacked a NATO country, what could we do? Seriously, what could Britain do? We've got about 40,000 troops we could put in the field. If we can get them there, because there's no boats to ships to get them there, it's a nonsense. It's farcical. It's farcical. Nobody's going to do anything. Nobody's going to do anything. Ukraine will fight, but Poles might fight, but Germany's not going to fight. France isn't going to fight. Belgium's not going to fight. Holland's not going to fight. Britain's not going to fight. Ireland's certainly not going to fight. It's just a nonsense. The whole thing's a farce. The whole thing is a farce. Yep. There we go. So the boys in Moygashl have excelled themselves. Have a look at this. I think, is this a picture, a video? I don't know. I've copied this twice, stupid man. Anyway, have a look at this. Wow, what do you think of that? So the boys have put a mosque on top of the Moygashl and County Tyrone bonfire. You can imagine it's causing chaos. A mosque? You never seen it, Marion? Come on, I'll show you. And Marion's not even seen it, so I'll show Marion it. Have a look at this. Can you see this? It's them crazy boys in Moygashl. Can you see this? Look, there's Marion there. Look, there we go. Look at it. So how do you got up there? I don't know. But anyway, it's wonderful and a wonderful message. And of course, somebody's been arrested and the whole country's lost its mind, all the liberals and lefties. Can you imagine the liberals and lefties have went absolutely mental? I suppose in America, equivalent would be, imagine a load of patriots building a giant bonfire in Times Square and putting a synagogue on top of it. Be similar to that. It's crazy, isn't it? It's crazy. Yeah, I think, Ken, you're right. America needs to get out of NATO. It's a load of nonsense. Nobody's going to do nothing. NATO's just a waste of time. Aye. Oh, big Ken's a sook. But Nick, Ken Wood says, there she is, the prettiest girl in Ireland, the fairest Colleen in all of Ireland. He's a silver-tongued devil, isn't he? Oh, that's how you ended up getting Vicky. We miss him. We do miss him. So I'll put this link up again to the chapter house if you don't mind. Not the chapter house, the Priory building thing. I'm so this heat's killing me. I can't handle it. It's about 80 degrees here in your money, but it's too hot for us. Anyway, at the big row this week, because as I remember last week, I was ranting and raving about these bloody neo-Nazi, pencil neck, National Socialist, white vanguard, white defense, white this, white that, blah, 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 blah. I despise these people. Now, there's a new party, National Rebirth. Oh, yes, the National Rebirth Party's been launched. The National Rebirth Party. Oh, my goodness. Powerful, powerful stuff. The left and the establishment are shaking in their boots. And I've suddenly realized, because I was like, what? Are these people for real? And I've suddenly realized, what are you talking, Jim? Just ignore them. Because it's when you look in the comments pages, it's all people say this is wonderful, and you look at then the profiles, they're all spotty faced, little dweeb, pencil neck, incel, self-abusing, oddball, weirdos who live with their mum, but they're always shouting about it's the boomers' fault. It's the boomers and Generation X fault. Well, get out of their house, son. If you think you hate Generation X and the boomers that much, stop living in their house and sponging off them. Go and get a job and get your own house. Fair comment? I think so. Thanks, Paul. God bless you, my friend. Yeah. Aye, as Bryce says, NATO and the UN are totally useless. Absolutely, 100% useless. No point to it anymore. So there you go. That bonfire's causing a real stir. But anyway, back to the National Socialists, the mighty National Socialists. And as I said to you many years ago, people say to me, "Do you read much Nietzsche, Jim?" I've read Nietzsche, yes. And what a load of old rubbish. What a load of old Tommy rot. And he was the guy, a proponent of the strongman principle, only the strong survive. He was a skinny, wee, weedy, syphilited weirdo, incel crackpot. I have never met a Nietzsche writer or a Nietzschean or a National Socialist in these days who's a big, strapping, handsome man, great example of the white race. No, they're all wee pencil-neck, snivelling torags. And talking about snivelling torags, scrawny, weedy creeps, here, I think, is the leader, yes, of the National Rebirth Party. Brace yourself. This will blow you away. This man exudes manliness. Machismo is his middle name. He would make the boys and the mafia boys, the Italians, Goomba, they would be shaking in their boots with the macho vibes coming off this fella here. Oh, he's a man's man. The ladies must be swooning as he walks down the street. The women must be falling at his feet and having to be given smelling salts. He's far, far more attractive than Mr. Darcy. Oh, yes. Or 007, whatever. This is a man that you won't forget.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's great to see so many faces here. Some old, some new, and in the north of England, no less as well. As we may know, I am from the south, in Portsmouth, which is conveniently a stone's throw from Southampton. I've come here on violence today, and no doubt I'm about to annoy a lot of people with what I'm about to say. But I do not care. I'm not in this for money, I'm not in this for fame. I do not care if I'm liked, nor do I care if I'm disliked. I'm in this for love of the game and for love of my people. I say what I say because I care. I say what I say because I know what every single member of our race is capable of. So do not be offended with what I'm about to say, nor upset. Rather see it as a call to arms. A call to be the Anglo-Celtic warrior, which I know every one of you to be. And so, with the disclaimer out of the way, we will begin now. Now, I'm sure many of you are aware, in my speeches, I like to ramble and I like to complain. And so, keeping with tradition, today I will continue to do so. My late mother, may she rest in peace, used to tell me that I could talk for England. And so I took that quite literally, and for the last 2 years, that is what I have done. And today I will continue to do so, and tomorrow I will do so again. Whilst typically I would complain about capitalism, laziness, or the dreaded international finance, today I will be complaining about something a little closer to home. I will be complaining about nationalists and those who claim to be nationalists. In my short time in nationalism, a mere 2 years, a drop in the ocean compared to some of the veterans sat in this room today, I have experienced much and I have learned even more. I have experienced the so-called sensible nationalism, which is the coward's form of nationalism, and I have observed from a distance civic nationalism. And well, it's not even a form of, I don't even know what civic nationalism is. It's just a bunch of waving flags and that's it. But I've also experienced radical nationalism, the revolutionary nationalism. I have worked with those who hide their beliefs, who hide their true intentions, either out of fear of the establishment or of being ostracised from their social groups, or perhaps it's to deceive the gullible and to grift. Tommy Robinson. But I've also had the pleasure of working with those who champion their beliefs, those who do not hide them, but they wear them as a badge of honour. They stand firm in confrontation. They stand firm above the crowds who try to tear them down. They do not hide, they do not fear, they do not surrender. They are prepared to die on the hill that they themselves have created. These are the very finest.
I think that's quite enough, actually. I mean, an Anglo-Celtic warrior, really? They're going to die on the hill? That's if the mum allows them. If the mum says they can stay out long enough to be on the hill, they might die on it. I mean, this is what we're faced with in this country. This is what we're faced with. And this is what's passing for hardcore right-wing. This isn't hardcore right-wing. And there's no need for it because they can jump on a boat and a couple of, or an airplane, and within 35, 40 minutes, they can be here in Belfast. They can be here in Northern Ireland, where we have hundreds of thousands of patriots, militarised, marching, serious people. They don't need to do this black shirt garbage nonsense. This is silly. But I can tell you, the likes of him and all his wee mates, if they come over here at this time of year when we get to the peak of the marching season, people would just laugh at them. They couldn't fit in with our boys. They couldn't fit in with our young men. They would think, what's this guy? Is this a woman with a moustache or something? What is going on here? I don't want to be cruel and nasty to me, boy, but I mean, it's just silliness, isn't it? It's just silly. So, yep. Scott Phillips says, get a shepherd so he can pull that skinny rascal stage left. Skinny rascal. I'm sure that he felt his heart is in the right place. Of course it is. Of course it is. But he should be under tutelage of older men for at least the next 10 years to see what he's made of and what he's all about. It's really crazy, isn't it? Using my symbology of Celtic cross Templar. Oh, very good. Yes, yes. It's just silliness. Has he got man bun? And they say, I don't know, Sammy, did he have a man bun, that fella? That's funny wee guy.
No, you had a cheese string here.
What's that?
It's like Peaky Blinders hairstyle. All smooth back.
Oh, so smooth back. It's like Peaky Blinders. He's trying to do 1930s, the black shirts. My grandfather was one of the leaders of the black shirts, but I don't try and emulate that. That was then. This is now. My grandfather, David Dowson, the D, they called him, the D. We stocky man, fight in. Used to be a nightclub, a doorman in a miners club. You need to be tough to do that. But he was a black shirt. He was a leader of the black shirts. But I don't emulate the black shirts. I don't go about parading about like a black shirt and dressing up like that, because this is 2026. I'm just as committed and as extreme as he was. But it's a different age. This is silly. This is the player. And they call us larpers. These are the people who are on our social media all the time. You're a bunch of larpers, really. You're dressed up there like Adolf in 1929 or something. It's daft. Silliness, anyway. But just be careful, because these people are really proliferating now. I don't know if somebody's pushing them through the algorithms. Just be very careful of these type, because they're all those movements are completely riddled with homosexuality, or at best, homoerotic, weird stuff, and they all hate Jesus. They call him a Jew on a stick. Blasphemous. But they hate Jesus, and they're very strange people sexually. So just beware, okay? Right, moving on to some entertaining stuff. Oh, do you know what I found the other day? I was asking you, and I don't see him here. But I know I showed this a couple of weeks ago, but I want to show it again, and I put it here so I know what it is, so I don't lose it again in future. He wanted to go and look for it. But this is the progress. Remember, we were building this chapter house, remember? And then we were building the church and blah, blah, blah. I know I showed it a few weeks ago, but I think you'd like to see it again. It's wonderful. Ewan made this, and what a brilliant job he done with it. So have a wee look at this again. It's fantastic. And again, thank you. Thank you all. You did this. You did this. I'm only the foreman on site, but you did this. Didn't Brother Ewan do a fantastic job with that? Sergeant Arnold, Big Ewan, you know, he's brilliant. He's such a good guy. He's getting a rough time at the moment. Really rough time. Don't want to get into it, but he's getting a really rough time. So please keep Brother Ewan in your prayers. He's getting it rough. But he does a great job, never shucks his duty. He's a brilliant guy. And that's a great film, isn't it? What a brilliant film. Shows you where we came. We're still at it, but we do need to finish it. So I'll put a link up again because the last few weeks has been absolutely diabolical. The last month has been really bad for contributions. I know it's hard for everybody in the 4th of July and other people with stuff here and everyone's going crazy. The cost of living's went mad, but let's get this finished. Let's get it done. Right, looking at some other wait a minute. I've seen somebody there. Hugo de Castella said, I think that little guy used to be in Stand Up to Racism. Did he really? It wouldn't surprise me. He's the type that's in one of them lefty groups, isn't it? Good morning, John Kopasaki. How you doing? Nice to see you. Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me because all of those lefties are wee scrawny, horrible looking creeps, isn't they? Strange person. Anyway, good news in Glasgow, in a very Irish Republican area, normally pro-immigrant. No, Royston, very Irish area, normally very pro-immigrant. Anyway, they said, you know, the mad British loyalists don't want the immigrants. We welcome them. So these people, these Irish people who live in Scotland, welcomed all these immigrants into their area, into their it's like the projects. And what happened? They kidnapped people, raped them, blah, blah, blah. The police came, arrested them, big fight, all the rest of it. Went to court, got bailed. Allowed out, and they went straight back to the homes that they had been living in to prey on their neighbours. Anyway, as I said before, although the Irish were saying, oh, refugees welcome, all of a sudden they realised, nah, this isn't a good idea, and don't bother the Irish, because if you bother them too much, this is how they react. So they went back to their homes, and the locals said, not happening, they're getting out. So they had to get the police up in big numbers to protect their lives, to flee the area. Have a look. It's wonderful. They're out with the clubs, and the Scottish cops are tough. They're not like English cops. They're tough guys. So they were fighting hard there to keep them working class Irish folk back. If they'd have got them, they would have ripped them limb from limb. But you see, the police were out with the batons. Tell us, no, but to protect the illegal Islamic alleged rapists and kidnappers. The police have got the batons to you for daring to protest. That's where we are in this country. But listen, the batons won't be holding people back for much longer because people have had it up to here and then some. The day of reckoning's coming, my friends. The day of reckoning's coming. There's a question. Is it just me? Or is the new what's this? The new KTI seem to never come back the next year. Any other ones except some of us. The new KTI night. Oh, you mean the new nights never seem to come back here. Well, a lot of them do disappear. We're talking about this the other day. Do you remember a couple of years ago that Mr. Chang or something was here? Never seen hiding in him. Probably about a third of people who come disappear. 2/3 don't. They don't come back, but they're here and they're active and they're doing stuff. And they maybe they're not online, but a lot of them do keep in contact with the office and whatnot. So there. But about a third disappear. Just disappeared, don't they? That Mr. Chang, was it Mr. Chang? He just disappeared off. I don't know where he went. And there's a few more like him. Yeah, very odd. It's a shame. Yep. Kit Bear says the day I reckon is coming fast. You better believe it. Hugo Costello says there. Let me see. This is Cranhill. Oh, I beg your pardon. Cranhill. Oh, the Royston one was the night before. I beg your pardon. There's another one in Glasgow. Well done. And another one in Castlemilk, 3 yesterday. My goodness. Just been raped. Oh, my goodness. Another woman raped in the city centre. Listen, it's going to snap soon. Because they're mad as hatters in Northern Ireland, but they're crazier and more vicious in Glasgow once they start on you, let me tell you. Yeah, that's crazy. So Glasgow's on the brink, isn't it? Oh, thanks very much, Westover. Appreciate that. It's crazy. Really crazy stuff. But as you can see, sorry to stare at this because it's so small. I don't know. I've not made it bigger yet, so I'm squinting to see. But yeah, things are beginning to brew up here. I'm telling you, we're living in the last few months of normality in this country. Something is going to break, and it's going to break big time. But I believe it will start from Northern Ireland and then it'll spread out. But it's going to go. It's going to go. There's no doubt about it. It's going to go. So a lot of the government agencies they're manufacturing all these weirdo right-wing neo-Nazi ethno-nationalist groups just to distract people, thinking, oh, that'll be good, that'll work, that'll keep the folk busy. Paul says he's over next weekend to visit. Excellent. Paul used to be there this week, mate. Here in the city, Christopher Stritch says they're handing out the Qurans here. Yeah, they do it here as well. Yeah, they hand out the Qurans here all the time. They always do it. Right. Who is it? All right. Somebody like maybe they forgot him on the show. So yeah, it's crazy stuff, isn't it? But here's the wee thing about these fires could be they could be the spark of it. They could be the spark of it. So let's have a wee look at one of them. So, I mean, there's an interesting phenomenon taking place here right now in the UK. Most English people, I know you've had this hard to believe, American and Canadian friends, but most English people knew nothing of Ulster, Northern Ireland. Nothing of it. You sort of Ireland somewhere, there was a civil war there, we don't know anything about it, don't want to know anything about it. Despite England being bombed regularly by that area. But they just sort of went, don't know anything about it, not interested. So because now the population of England is becoming very heavily Muslim and foreign, a lot of young families have been contacting us over the last 5 years saying, where can we go? Can we go to Hungary? And you remember we used to try and relocate people to Hungary and Poland, and a lot of people did go and a lot of people want to go. Well, now, because of all this social media and people are seeing there is actually a place in the United Kingdom which is absolutely like England in the 1950s. It's super, super patriotic, super British. There's militias on the ground that England's never had. There's big, big social networks of men who turn up. And you know, this is on Tuesday next week. Tuesday next week is our big day. Our big day is the 12th, it's Monday. Sorry, our big day is the 12th of July. And again, there's a myth about that. There's a victory of Catholics over the Protestants. That's not true. And I'm going to upset some Protestants here, but listen, just be upset because it's a fact. When King William fought King James represented the Irish and the Catholics. King William represented the English and the Scots and the Protestants. It's not just as simple as that. It was geopolitical. Because King James also represented the French. And the French were at war with the Spanish and the Vatican at the time. And the French were threatening to invade Italy and depose the Pope. So, when King William, came over to depose King James, who believed in the divine right of kings, just let that sink in. If we'd have lost that battle, there'd be no America, there'd be no Canada, there'd be no Australia. The divine right of kings would have been re-established. There'd be no parliament, there'd be no democracy, there'd be no Declaration of Freedom, the American Revolution. All of that would never have happened. Here's the thing. The Pope said a mass for William's victory. The Pope sent the Hessian Blue Guards, some of the best crack troops in Europe, Catholics, to fight for William. The French sent a lot of their troops to fight for James. And when the battle was won, so the Pope had said a mass for William's victory. And when the victory was won and William was victorious over James, the King of Spain, who is the arch Catholic of Europe, fanatic, he ordered that every single church in Spain and its territories had to ring its bells to give thanks to God for that victory, because it was a geopolitical thing. So there was many Protestants on James's side, there was many Catholics on William's side. So this idea that there was a Protestant victory over Catholics is utter baloney, utter baloney. So don't let anybody tell you that. It's wonderful, and it's a great thing. So we're not marching on Sunday this year because the 12th, their day is the 12th of July. We can't march on a Sunday because that's the Lord's Day. So the parade's been postponed, as it always does on a Sunday, to the next day, the Monday. So everybody's parading on the Monday. And then on the Tuesday, we have a big mock battle day with cannons and people dressed up in 17th century costumes. And that's in a place called Scarva. And there's about 150, 200,000 people there. Remember, there only is 800,000 does. So, but on Monday, we'll have about 100,000 men marching, men marching, and about 500,000 people watching it. So that's 600,000 people. We've only got a population 800,000. So the only people that won't be there are really, really old people, or but everybody's there. It can be there. So Sammy's wife's family are in this band. Sammy's in a band. He's going to band practice tonight. So we'll all be out. The Templars, I tell you, I normally go to these parades and I really enjoy it. It's like one of the few days I get off. It's one of the few days I can let my hair down or switch my phone off, and I just do it. But it's the only day, because I'm on duty Christmas Day, New Year's Day. However, this year, Mr. Griffin informs me there's two of our brothers, two very good French Catholic brothers, right wing. They're coming over from France because everybody's in Europe now seeing this, and America. What is going on in Northern Ireland? Where did all these militias come from? Why are these guys so organised? So everybody's interested. So these guys are coming over, and they're going to stay with me. They're going to stay in my house, two of them, and I'm going to give them a tour and whatnot of the areas. And it's quite dangerous, especially with the bonfires. It can be quite dangerous and a bit oppressive. This is not like American marching bands. This is dark. This is a bit naughty, the militias, and at the bonfires a lot of drinking and things can go wrong, and they're firing guns at the bonfire, so they don't feel safe. So I said, okay, you can stay in my house. So I'm going to be a guide to these guys from Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. They go home on Thursday. Marvelous. But listen, I'm saying that I'm a bit disappointed that I don't have a day off, but this is important for us to convey this militarism, this way of bringing young people together in huge numbers, because we're going to need it in Europe, we're going to need it in America, we're going to need it everywhere. So that's it. So we'll get two Frenchmen coming over, which I'm going to be entertaining, and our brother here, where is he? Hugo de Castello, he's coming over as well. So we look forward to seeing you then. Jump because he's brilliant. Always happen, most of them. Could be right, yeah. There is aye. That's it. Aye. Some of these people just disappear, don't they? It's very, very strange. It's very strange. We were actually talking about this. People get knighted and then disappear. We were actually talking about it the other day. Now, I sent a report in a long time ago. Nothing really come back for it, but I must chase it up. I proposed to Emery and Peter and I proposed, and the other boys, I proposed that if we don't hear them, we write to them and say, listen, you were knighted, where are you? We can check their records if they've been donating in, have they bought in, have they done anything to support the order in any way, shape, or form. And if not, we just write to them and say, we have removed you from our role, because we have a role of all the knights. We've removed you. If we don't hear from you, we're going to remove you. Is there a reason? We'd have to ask people. We don't have to. I mean, the Council of Nine say it. That's it. It's done. But I personally would like to ask your guys' opinion. What do you think? So we write to them maybe once, twice, maybe even 3 times. And if they don't respond, or have a good reason, like they're ill or something like that, if they just don't respond, just write to them and say, you're no longer a knight. We don't recognise you as a knight, and you've been removed from the role of the order. Tell me what you think of that. Okay? So let me know. I'd really appreciate that. Anyway, let's have a wee look at this Drum Derg. This is a fantastic band that mostly Sammy's wife's family's in, and they're very good. Let's have a look at this before we finish up for the evening. We'll have this and come back, and then we'll play it with a bit of rousing music. Okay, have a look. So, and let me know what you think. Yeah, let them go. Hugh Costello. Yes, so Hugh Costello's the brothers arriving on Sunday morning and staying to the 15th. Wow. Hugh, you need to go to Scarva. You just can't go to Scarva. In Crumlin Road, forget about it. You can go there anytime. Scarva, no. You don't want to miss that. It'll blow your mind. Anyway, have a look at this. This is the Drum Derg from Keady, which is right on the Irish border. Suffered a lot of damage during the Civil War. Never was a horrible place to live, especially if you're one of us. But anyway, They're strong and they're good and they're well disciplined and sober and decent young Christian men and women. All the flags are carried by the women, and I think Sammy's wife's sister, she's the lead flag carrier, is she, Sammy?
Yeah.
She's the boss of the flag carrier, so she's the woman at the front. Okay, so have a wee look at this. Marvellous. And just consider the town you live in. There is 820,000 of us Brits here. 820,000 of us Ulster Scots, Scotch Irish. 820,000. And we have 850 of those bands. Then we've got a couple of hundred pipe bands and accordion bands. So you can imagine the whole community is locked into this. And they're all young fellas marching. People laugh and say, oh, toy soldiers. Really? They can become soldiers like that overnight because they're drilled. They've got structure. They've got command structure. And they've been disciplined from a young age. It's an army in waiting. That's what it is. And yeah. So there we go. Some of the boys are saying here, yeah. Yes, a lot of folk are saying, listen, if we don't hear for these folk, what good it is. I agree with you. I do. And I did mention it to the council, ages ago. Nobody really get back to me. Right. Yes. If we email these people, I'll go through the records. We can go through the records. We need to do it next week when we come back because we're on holiday on Monday. We'll go through the records. Okay, we'll go through the records. I'll make a full report and ask for extremely urgent action on this. We'll get to go ahead, no problem, I'm sure. And then we'll send these people an email. This is if we don't know them, if they're not on Discord, if they're not interpods, if they're not interacting with anybody, if they're not contributing, because everybody's doing the heavy lifting here, trying to get this building ready. In fact, I'll put that link up again. We'll do all that. So if we've not heard from them, they're not on anything, they're not contributing, they're not doing anything, and we send them, I would say it's fair to send them 3 emails. We'll send them 3 emails. And if they don't respond, I think we just have to remove them from the roles. Now, that's a bit of rigmarole. There's a big procedure to get them removed from the roles, but we can get them removed from the roles, and that's it. That's my opinion. I'm listening to what you're saying. That I think that's what you're telling me. That's your opinion. So yeah, let's do it. Let's just do it. Scott Phillips says paintball. Yeah, paintball and airsoft. Yeah, they're allowed here. Yep, they're allowed here. They're allowed here. Yeah, they are. And they're quite handy to get used to things, you know. In mainland Britain, you can use air rifles. You know, you can use actual air rifles, which I grew up with. We used to shoot each other with them, and they were quite sore. And people lost eyes and all that stuff. And I had to get a pellet pulled out my head once with a pair of pliers, pointed nose pliers, with a lead thing stuck in my head. But anyway, yes, we do all that stuff. But the biggest thing for young fellas is getting into a bit of the boxing as well. Sammy goes to Muay Thai and boxing. He goes to Muay Thai and boxing. And you need to learn to, you got to be into the contact stuff. There's no point in, having I mean, I know guys who do paintball, I know guys that do airsoft and all that, and they say boo them, they run a mile, but in that game, they're champions. They're absolute champions. But look, you only know a man who he is when he gets a punch right there, right in the nose, and then you see who the true man, you see who he is, you see his true nature, believe me. So there we go. I have an air rifle. You're not allowed them here, Kat. You're not even allowed air rifles here. I nearly get jailed when I moved here because I brought my air rifles. They went, you can't have them here. You're not allowed those air rifles in this country. I said, what? BB guns? You're not allowed them? No. So we don't even have them. Tom Herford, how you doing? Good for Sammy. Yeah, Sammy's. Your wife goes to one of them. What does she? Does go to boxing. She goes to Sammy's wife, who's no longer had that baby. She goes to Muay Thai. Yes, because we're living in an age now, especially in Europe, where you could be attacked. I've got a video I showed you today. A black guy just goes into a woman's garden in England and just batters the child. We're living in a very nasty, horrible. Look, it'd be wonderful if we were all peace loving and we lived in utopia and nobody was nasty and nobody was violent. Wouldn't it be wonderful? Wouldn't it be wonderful? But that's a fantasy. And as men, we can't indulge ourselves in fantasy. Sadly, we've got to deal with reality. So men must be able to protect themselves and protect their family. And sadly, nowadays, women have got to have a certain level of skill in defending themselves from these crazy rapist migrants that's flooding the country. But there we go. So, yeah, well, we'll contact these people and see what they're all doing. But just to finish up the day, remember, just look at this wonderful example, which is, I mean, this is the big news across Europe. Oh, by the way, I done a podcast yesterday for guys who deal with the Republican Party in Capitol Hill. Dangerous Laughter or something. I don't know. General Flynn, one of them boys, they actually contacted me and I done an hour with him yesterday. Very interesting. The guy's from here. His family's Irish. Who isn't? But anyway, just remember these lads. Remember, there's a guy being arrested and he's sitting in a cell right now for this, but that won't bother us. Don't worry about that. We're well used to it in this country. But just have a look at this and is this not wonderful? This is real resistance. There you go. It's a lot of people in England phone me up. They say, Jim, is that allowed? We wouldn't be allowed to do that in England. We're not allowed to do it here either. But sometimes you just got to do it. Big John Kopasaki says, Sammy, he's going to come over in the fall in English. That's autumn. And he's going to train me. Good man. Hey, listen, John. It'd be very nice to see you. You come over. It'd be lovely to see you. It'd be really good to see you. Excellent. Well, there you go. I'm going to get off here because I cannot stand the heat. I'm sorry if I've been a bit underpowered today, but the heat is killing me. I can't stand it. I just don't like it. It's too much for me. So I'm going to leave you today, and everybody's going to moan at me because I'm going to play. Where is that thing? We haven't even heard it for a while. Yes, we haven't heard it for a while. So let's have our own tune. No, I'm not going to play Brittany. No. I'm going to play March of the Templars. I love it. Anyway, pray for us during this time because it can be a bit dangerous at this time as well. Some crazy stuff can happen. We've got our two French brothers over, very, very good Catholic men. They're lawyers. They're as you call them, attorneys. They're quite high up in politics in France. Very good men, and they want to see what's going on here. So I'm going to be their chaperone and guard. And and Sammy's birthday is on Monday, and he's no longer a teenager on Monday. Yeah. So Sammy's birthday is on Monday, the 13th of July, and that's him turning 20. So may God bless you, son, and many more of them. And I'm sure everybody wishes you the same. God bless you, folks. I'm going to get off of here and I'm going to leave you this. Listen, all the very best to you. And remember, until we meet again, stick close to God. You won't go far wrong. Do us vault.